Hello friends, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365, and today I'm going to give you my spoiler review and discussion of Captain Marvel. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit that bell notification. I put out videos daily, and you can also find me over Twitter and Instagram at Movie Guy 365. So the weekend is here. Box office projections are that Captain Marvel is going to make about 155 to 160 million at the box office, which is very good for a solo debut. It actually falls just above Guardians of the Galaxy, but just below Iron Man 3. So it's going to make some decent business. And overall, I think it definitely deserves it. It's a very good movie. What I'm going to do is I'm not going to pretty much rehash the review, the spoiler-free review, so I'm going to go ahead and link that in the video. But I just want to discuss a couple of things that are spoilery topics and my overall thoughts again, but, a couple of problems I had here and there and some things that, I really, really enjoyed. But I just don't want to be encumbered by the spoiler thing. So, completely spoilers. If you haven't seen the movie, just go check out my other video. As I said, I'll link that at the end. Let's talk about it. So, overall, as I said, I really, really enjoyed the movie. I gave it an 8 out of 10 in my spoiler-free review. And I stand by that number. Even after sitting on it over the weekend, I actually do plan to go see it again next weekend. I'm going to go experience it in 3D or Dolby Cinema. I'm still deciding which at this point, probably 3D. But, yes, I really, it's a good movie. It's a good starting effort. But it also, it does have a few issues here and there. Things I didn't quite enjoy, and I kind of touched on it a little bit in the spoiler-free review. So, one of the things I did not like particularly was, and a lot of it has to do with the direction, unfortunately. These were co-directed, and you could tell the inexperience was there behind the camera. Thank God we had good actors and actresses to kind of carry the film, to really sell it. But overall, I feel structurally it was the movie's biggest weakness. There's a lot of disjointedness, especially in the first half of the movie. While I enjoyed things like, the Star Force and, things in space, it felt familiar. It felt like, as far as Guardians of the Galaxy goes, those are the things I did enjoy. But, a lot of the fights choreography was a bit choppy and just stuff like that I didn't really, really enjoy. I think a better filmmaker. And I'm actually going to be doing a video tomorrow about top 5 things, well, not 5 necessarily, but top things that I would like to see in the sequel. And I'll just spoil it right now. One of them is definitely get a new director. I think we need more experienced hands. I think giving it to the same crew will yield about the same results, and I'm going to say that box office and creatively. It just didn't feel like it was a movie that had its own identity, and I don't think the directors are capable of that. They don't have their own style. That's one of the things you enjoy about things like Thor Ragnarok and Black Panther and even the Russo brothers. They have a style. They have a great, you can differentiate their film from A, B, and C. So that's one of the things I would say. But going back to the spoilers, and this seems to be pretty much a universal dislike, was how Nick Fury lost his eye. That was, once again, I think that in more capable hands could have been better, because it's like, oh, the cat scratched his eye, the cat being a Flurkin in this case. And then it's like, okay, it looks okay. And then almost like the next scene, oh, your eye's gone. You're like, what? There's just no, and plus, of course, it doesn't fit with the narrative that Fury spoke late in other movies. Oh, last time I trusted somebody, I lost an eye. I'm like, it was a cat. And I understand everybody embellishes that kind of thing, but it just seemed like a stupid actual way to do. Nick Fury kind of lost a little bit of coolness, in my opinion, from this movie. While he was great I'm not taking anything away from Samuel L. Jackson, it's just the way it was written. And it just, I don't know, it's like if you kind of go back and you're like, yeah, okay, a cat did that, okay. But no, it was kind of a dumb thing. I didn't really enjoy it. And sticking with Nick Fury for a second, and I also touched on this in the spoiler-free video, S.H.I.E.L.D. didn't feel like S.H.I.E.L.D. in this movie. They're supposedly a thing, and I understand, like, this is probably the Los Angeles branch. I get that. I understand. But honestly, nothing about what we saw of S.H.I.E.L.D. was like, oh, that was S.H.I.E.L.D. That was like, it could have been cops. It could have been a precinct. It could have been anything else. I felt, we've seen S.H.I.E.L.D. in the past throughout other Marvel movies, like Ant-Man and Winter Soldier, that kind of stuff. But it just felt like, I don't know, it just felt kind of like they were just, could have been anybody. They could have been any agency. It didn't seem like S.H.I.E.L.D. to me. And I think, I don't know, like maybe it was just a screen time kind of thing. But, it just felt off overall. It just wasn't a great vibe to that. And I think that, once again, goes to the directors. But, yeah, as you can tell, I'm laying a lot of blame up their way. I felt that Brie Larson was a very good Captain Marvel. I think seeing her in future projects, I can't wait to see what the Russos do with her in Endgame. Because they took other characters from other franchises and, yes, put their own spin on them, but they kind of made them cooler. I mean, if you go back to Infinity War, I want to see Endgame for that, what they do with Captain Marvel. I'm anxious. I trust them implicitly. Like, they've never let me down. So, but I want to take that version and propel her into future movies. So it just seemed kind of, she was good in it, and I enjoyed it. All the other characters seemed they were good. A couple storytelling beats that were just maybe a little off here and there. I enjoyed that Raiders of the Lost Ark beat at the end, with Carol and young Bert, Jude Law's character. It was good overall. The Tesseract. So there is a MacGuffin in almost every movie. And it felt like while the Tesseract has been used, and of course we discover that's like the source roundabout way of Carol's powers. So that kind of goes on, like they're elevating anybody who's touched by an Infinity Stone is top, like tier 10 abilities. We saw it with Wanda and, with her and the Mind Stone. And of course, Vision when he had the stone, and now Carol has, abilities through that. I like that, but at the same time, that shouldn't be the only thing that gives somebody like almighty powers. I'd like to see them kind of veer away from that a little bit more. And I think we will. Honestly, I think the Infinity Stones after Endgame should be put on the shelf for a little bit, at least. Let's get other things in there. And I'm hoping they do that. I'm hoping like the source of the mutants when eventually the X-Men come in and is not because of it. I guess we'll find out eventually. But yeah, so pretty much another thing that kind of bothered me was Marvel. Not the fact that they did a gender swap. If you're going to do it, sure, okay. But it felt like we got very little Marvel flashback scenes with Danvers. That was supposedly like the heart of like her, relationship as far as like a comrade goes. But we saw very little of them interacting. In fact, it got relegated to one scene. Most of Annette Bening's scenes were as the Supreme Intelligence. Kind of had an issue with that as well. Like, it just felt cheap. I want to feel that emotional impact from Carol Danvers and, her relationships. Monica, of course, that was handled a little bit better, but I felt that Marvel scenes were just, I don't know if there's more on the editing room floor, that kind of thing. I just felt that was kind of a waste, and that was a shame because Annette Bening's a fantastic actress, and she looked like she wanted to be there and have a good time doing the role. And, sitting there twisting the mustache as the Supreme Intelligence, could have been a little bit better use of her time. Although, let me just say, how cool would it be to have an Annette Bening as the Supreme Intelligence interact with Glenn Close's Nova Prime? Future movie, come on, make it happen. I would actually kind of geek out a little bit about that. Anyway, the Skrulls, I had no issue with that arc. In fact, I felt it was the strongest arc. And I know a lot of people are saying, oh, they can't do Secret Invasion. Come on. Two things negate that right away. One, it's 25 years later when we see Carol Danvers again in Endgame. All right, a lot happens. And two, so a small pocket of Skrulls are automatically like assumed to be just all good guys. The Skrulls are an entire race. There's going to be bad people in a race. It doesn't matter. Kree, Skrull, human. There are bad people. There are going to be bad Skrulls. So if they ever want to touch on Secret Invasion, they can do that. That's not exactly like I wouldn't want to see a 10-year arc on that, but maybe like a 2 or 3 movie kind of thing I'd be okay with. I want to build towards other things, but we'll do that in a future video. So yeah, the things I really enjoyed, were the things like I did enjoy the Tesseract stuff. I did enjoy that end credit scenes. Both of them, they're both cool in their own way. Yeah, it was a fun movie. It really was. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I can't wait to see it again. I can't wait to get it on 4K and probably import the 3D. Thanks U.S. Import. But yeah, I really enjoyed Captain Marvel. I think it's definitely worth checking out. Absolutely, I stick by my 8 out of 10. It was a great movie, a lot of fun. So leave in the comments below. Spoiler it up, everybody. So what did you think? Please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification for me. I put out videos daily. So until next time, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. I will see you at the movies.